everywhere you look.
We're going to be discussing Luigi's Mansion 3, and we're going to be discussing what can and cannot be in Luigi's Mansion 3, or by can, I mean could or would or something like that. But anyways, let's just get down to the discussion. Luigi's Mansion 3 already has thousands upon thousands of analysis on the trailer, so I won't do an analysis as much of what I want and don't want in Luigi's Mansion 3. So far by the game itself, it takes place in one mansion, meaning we won't be able to see much from all the stuff that we hated from Dark Moon, like all the mission-based structures and all that other stuff. Or as I like to call them, level selection systems, because that's literally what it is. Like, what the hell, guys? Call it a level-based system or whatever. What made Luigi's Mansion work is the fact that it took place in one building, and that it made sense because the game was in fact called Luigi's Mansion, and it had a really good story attached to it. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon's story was a little hit and miss, but at least it was passable, it was nice, and at least some moments from Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon felt all tingly and warm inside over the happy moments. Even when it didn't nail it too perfect, it still nailed a lot of people to the head and realized, oh hey, yeah, that's a good acting Luigi right there. True emotion. But what I'm saying here is that the gameplay needs to be much more different than the other games. The first two games kind of work on their own merits, but the first two games were one thing that they had in common. They were both linear. Now, don't give me the argument that Luigi's Mansion 1 is not linear, because yes, it is linear. End of story. I mean, it's not as linear as, say, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon with its level-based system, mission-based system, because Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon was full linear, and it was only on a small little tiny handheld that can barely muster 15 frames per second. Luigi's Mansion was more of an open world, but it was on a home console, something more powerful than the 3DS. Yes, despite the length from being only 5 hours long, it still made sense that it would be a tad bit more open world. It was on a home system. It would be a little bit open world, but it had to be linear in order for the story to move on and be interesting and all that. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon's linearity doesn't work because it's basically based on a level-based system. Oh, I'm sorry, mission-based structure, if you can even call it that. And that's what pissed thousands of people off, is that it barely had any exploration. So where I'm getting at this is that both Luigi's Mansion and Dark Moon are very linear. The first game was half linear, and the second game was full linear. My opinion or thoughts could be that Luigi's Mansion 3 could be the first full open world based one, meaning that almost like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild or Link Between Worlds. It'll be kind of like that, where you can go on any floor, catch any form of portrait ghosts, and hopefully they return, because I know thousands of people who would like that. Capture any ghosts on any floor, meet up with EGAT at any time, do sort of side missions like in Breath of the Wild or something like that, catch an endless wave of ghosts in the hallways, and defeat any boss at any time in any order. You're not on a strict path like in the first two games, where you complete one room, you go to the next one. You complete that room, you go to the next one on the other end of the mansion. It's nothing like that, and it's definitely not something like out of Dark Moon, where it was, you go this way and you're gonna like it, or some BS like that. So, a more open world Luigi's Mansion is something along the lines of my taste and how I like it. A lot more better than the level select. Oh, I'm sorry. So that's gameplay-wise from when you actually play the game. Gameplay-wise, by controls is kinda obvious, but we're not gonna go into that detail for today. We're just gonna focus on a lot of other stuff. So far, we already know that the character you'll be saving will be Toad, Mario, yourself, and Peach. But what about something like Mario Odyssey, where it crams in just a little bit of fan service? How about Mario Odyssey standards, we would have a returning character from a game that a lot of people don't know. Maybe like someone like Stanley from Donkey Kong 3, and his first appearance would be Luigi's Mansion 3. Well, not first appearance, but first appearance in a modern Mario game. Come on, Nintendo. You did it with Pauline. You can do it with Stanley from Donkey Kong 3. Think about it, Nintendo. So that's my thoughts on what the gameplay could be, as well as a little bit of a discussion of the gameplay of Luigi's Mansion 1 and Dark Moon. Personally, I would say that the first two are linear, and this one could be the more open world based, but let me know what you think in the comment section below, and if you like the video, give it a like. If you dislike the video, and why am I turning into a stereotypical YouTuber that everyone hates? Ah, what the hell, just do whatever you want with the video. Download it, make YouTube poops, and all that other stuff.